So in this video, I want to show you to mark how to mark demand and supply zone. Okay, demand and supply zone. Demand and supply zone is the same thing as um, supply. Sorry, it's the same thing as support and resistance. But majority of people actually do this in a very, very wrong way. Okay. In this video, what you will learn is how to do it perfectly, how to do it well. Okay, so that you don't just mark every support, every supply or demand zones. Okay. So first of all, you need to understand what is a supply or what is a demand zone. Okay. A supply zone is an area where people actually sold markets, okay, actually sold an asset. Why a demand zone is actually where traders or group of people actually decide to buy an asset. Take for example, here is an area where people decided to buy crude oil, all right, and now here is an area where people decide to sell oil. So here is a supply zone, and here is a demand zone. But the question is, how do you identify which supply zone should you mark or should you be selling from, or which demand zone should you be buying from? If you look in the past, you see so many supply and demand zones that were not really there. Okay, take for example, let's say you decided to mark this place. Now for example, you decided to mark this place because market has actually come here and it sold, then it came back again. If you mark this place, market actually sold, but not really for a long time before it starts bouncing up again. But if you look at price here, it sold significant from here. And if you look at price here, it bought significant from here. So how do you map these kind of areas to uh, better take a good entry? Okay, for you to better take a good entry. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. I'm going to show you this thing. So let's get started. All right, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, I will continue to give you educative content like this that can help you in trade. So let's continue. So the first thing is, when you are marking a supply or demand zone, you don't necessarily have to mark every supply and demand zones that you have in the market. You need to mark the recent supply and the recent demand of the market. So if you look at oil, now this is oil. Let's go to daily time frame quickly and let's look at something. Where is the recent supply? Here is the last supply in the market. This is where price got supplied in the market, right? Now where is the recent demand? Here is the recent demand. Okay, on daily time frame, you want to just mark those area out. Okay, that is where you want to focus on, because you do not just want to rely on past support and resistance. Those are past data. You want to rely on the present supply and demand. What is actually where people actually, big players, where they actually sold in recent time, or where they actually bought in recent times. That is where you want to mark out, and then you want to wait and see what price does when it gets there. So now we already mark these two areas as our this as our supply, this our demand zones. Okay, okay, so first of all, I've seen a lot of people that will say, oh, this demand zone has been tested multiple times, it has been used as resistance, and so that is not that it may work for other people, but that is not the reality. I'm going to tell you some certain secrets apart from this supply and demand thing. I will still tell you something that you need to understand when you are trading supply and demand zones. Okay, so now that you've marked it, then you can drop down to your what's it called, your lower time frame. In my own case, I use 4 hour, so I will drop down to 4 hour time frame. Okay, so let me remove this. I will drop down to 4 hour, right? So now, okay, so now what I am seeing here is that price has actually bounced up from here and is already heading to this area, which is supposed to be our supply zone. So now you do not just want to jump into this market because there is no reason right now for you to jump into this market and decide to buy. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to see that this price as it's going now get to a key area. Okay, get to a key area. So when I mark this, you will discover that I was putting this as I was putting it here. Okay, this support, because this is also area that you can take advantage of, because price came here, retest it, bounce off a little, then break out, then go up again, retest it, break above, and then before it finally broke. So now there is possibility that when price get to this particular area, where that is why we call it zone. It's not just a line, it's an area. This area where we have a huge sell, because when we talk about it, it's all about this area, this particular, all this big area. This is where the selling last took place. So what you want to do is you want to wait when price gets here. What do you want to do? What do you want to see? Okay. And another reasons why when price gets here, that is when you want to take your action of selling this particular asset. Now, one thing that you also need to factor in is the fact that what thing you need to also factor in is what is going on with crude oil at this current moment. Okay, you need to also understand how the asset you are trading, how it works. Right now, there is oversupply of there is this fair, in fact, oversupply of oil. And when there is oversupply, what do you think is going to happen? When there is oversupply of an asset, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to sell. The only reason why we've been seeing push up now is because there is also some kind of demand in the market because of the winter that is coming, because of the weather. So there is more demand for energy right now. So that is why we are having this push up. But OPEC are planning to release, I think, 400,000 barrel per day now into the market or something like that. So which I believe is going to cause the market to crash. And that is why you see that these candles are struggling as it's pushing up. They are struggling. It's not as clean as this. It's not as clean as all this. Okay. So it's struggling up. So even as a matter of fact, market might not get to this point before it starts crashing. But the point is, you want to also consider what is actually going on in the market. So right now, it is more reasonable to consider selling. So it is therefore nice for you to look for a pullback into this particular selling zone and then sell. Another reason why I'm expecting you should be looking for pullback is not really should be looking for pullback is that whenever the market drops to a particular level, you want to make sure that at least it will trace back to your Fibonacci golden zone like this area. At least this is a demand zone. You can see market bounce up, it bounced here, came back. Let me just draw it so that you can better see it. Okay, market went up here. Okay, touch it here for the first time, bounce up, touch it again, bounce up, then came and break above. So if market will trace back to this particular level, this zone, this is a decent supply zone because buyers has actually participated, buyers and sellers have actually participated in the market in this area. So when the market gets here, that is when you want to sell. This is a decent area for you to sell the market. Okay, so this is how you want to treat the supply and demand zone. I'm still going to give you more example from other assets so that you can better understand this thing. Okay, don't forget, if you want to take my mentorship class, just check the link in my bio. You will see my Telegram there. So just follow the Telegram link and send me a DM. Then I will take you one-on-one so that you can better master and become profitable in trading. So let's look at other assets. Okay, now let's look at S&P 500 for a moment. Let's look at S&P 500. Okay, so what was the first thing I said? Look for the recent demand and the recent supply. So now we are going to come to daily time frame so that we can better see where that is. Okay, so this is the recent demand here, right? And this is the last support, which is supply zone rather. This is the demand zone, recent demand zone. This is the last supply zone. As you can see, the market is already dropping from there. Now, When you see cases like this, what you want to do is that you want to see the market fall back into a zone that has been used as a support or resistance in the past. Now, if you look at this area, market has actually turned down from here. So now that the market is coming down, this area is going to be a very interesting area to take a long position. This is going to be a very decent area to take for your supply. Okay, here area for supply. Okay, for supply. Now the only thing, so let me just draw. Now another thing is that you want to probably consider using your Fibonacci to see what's actually going on. So which means that um the market might dig deep to this particular level. Okay, so the market might dig deep. This is why it is important that you understand all these things. Okay, the market might dig deep just to touch this particular 50% Fibonacci, and it may bounce up from here. But the most important thing is that now when the market comes here, okay, it is yet not a supply zone until the market makes it a supply zone. What do I mean by that? Let's say, for example, let me put this in 4 hour. Let me drop down. If the market just drop down like this as it's coming, okay, you can't just take a buy. Because why? Because market has not used this place as a supply, a demand zone. Sorry, a demand zone. If it just drop down like that, you can't just take a buy position, okay, because you don't know if the market is going to use this place as a demand zone. The market might went deeper and then start using somewhere around here as a demand zone. So this is why you want to make sure that you wait, that when as the market is coming, as soon as it gets here, wait a minute. You don't take the trade immediately. Wait for market to bounce off from there. When the market bounce off from there, wait for another pullback. Okay, then the market might form something that looks like double bottom. That is when you want to take your buy position. Take a look at this particular area now. For example, when the market came back, it used it as double bottom. Came back, bounce up. That means that people bought. That was why it bounced up. But the people that was selling, or whatever reason the market was selling here, is still much in the market. So the struggle is still going to come down. The sellers are still going to try to push the market down. But because buyers have already stepped into the market, which is the reason why we have the first bounce up here, the market is definitely going to continue to bounce up. So let me the example I gave earlier on oil, I want to actually show you something from there. Now take for example, like I said, now if the market should get here, that doesn't mean that you should just sell directly like that. Wait for the market to use this place as a supply zone. What do I mean? At least try to see that there was a little form of selling pressure, then the market pull back, then take after your candlestick confirmation here, then you want to take your sell. That is going to give you something that looks like double top. So now you are being sure that people are trying to sell. The first time it pushed down, you are sure that people are trying to sell from there. So if it goes back up, that is to tell you that the people that are buying here, of course, all of them are not going to leave the market immediately, so they are still going to be struggle here. Then you can then after that, wait for a red candle, either a weak rejection with weak rejection, or a bearish engulfing candle, something like that, that happens after the second bottom here. That is when you want to take your sell position. Okay, take for example in this case. Okay, let me use this one as an example. What do you see here? The market dropped drastically from this place to this place. Let's assume that you are just trading support and resistance blindly, which is supply and demand zones blindly. Oh, you will say, oh, this place has been tested multiple times. It has been tested here, so market has got here, and you can now take a buy position. Yes, but the case is not always the same. It's not always true like that. Yes, you may be right, but if you take a buy position now, definitely the market is going to go in your direction. But the but there is that in most cases, market might just continue to go down. So what you need to do is that when the market gets here, let the market shows at the moment, because what you refer to here, these are past data. What you refer to at the back here, these are past information. So now presently at the market, we want to make sure that the market show you that it's using this place as a support zone. So as a supply zone, sorry, as a demand zone. So as the market came back, you can see the market struggle up here. This to tell you that, okay, people are beginning to come into the market from here. Then the market came down again, which to tell you that this selling pressure is still much in the market. But as soon as you see some kind of candle stick that shows green candle like this one, you can then take your buy position, for example, here, and then let me put it here, buy here, your stop loss just below it, and then you can target this area that I already marked here, which I just talked about. So as soon as you see this pattern again, either here or anywhere, it could get here, it could get above here. That is why you need to wait, because it could go deeper than this. It could come up to this area before forming, before respecting the selling any selling momentum here. That is when you want to take the second position. That is when you want to take your position and probably take your take another entry. So this is what I want to share. I believe this video is helpful enough. There is more to talk about in this talk about. I'm going to show you more. So don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in my next video.